The word theist comes from an ancient Greek word, theos, of the gods, theoi, if you believed in the gods. And of course, ancient Greek were henotheists. They believed in a panoply of gods, and one god at the top, Zeus. If you went against the belief in the gods, as someone like Socrates did, at his trial, he was accused of impiety. He was called impious or atheos. It was like an insult more than anything. They believed that there was a god, but it wasn't the god that the Athenians or the Greeks accepted. Strangely, of course it would never have happened, we're 3 centuries before the event, but if a Christian had found himself in Athens at that time, he or she would be an atheist, because you're not agreeing with the god at the time. Obviously, Christianity took over, they became the theists, and generally, people didn't really go against Christianity. For long stretches, you either believed or you didn't get on very well if you didn't. Around about 1560, around 1550, if I remember, the French, via a Swiss prelate, started bringing in this word athe, and it was an insult. In other words, you didn't believe in God, you were an atheist. And there was an English prelate, I think it was from Yorkshire, Cudworth, I'm trying to think of his name, I think it might be Ralph. He was the first in the English language, around about 1660, to use the word theist, to explain that if you was a Christian, you believed in the God that could be known, you're a theist. And then atheist was used against anybody who didn't believe in God. But of course, we have the Enlightenment, and then the word deist came in, that there was a God, but God does not intercede in the universe. All right. So why am I using the word atheist then? Because I believe there's a God. Why am I not using deist? The problem I have with the term deist is the idea that deism, because it came out in the Enlightenment period, says that God created the universe, but then has no interest in creation. I don't accept that. You know, if God created the laws of the universe and free will and love, then God is present in the universe. So deism doesn't work for me. And I will admit, to say on our strapline, it's a theistic and atheistic dialogue. Okay, clickbaity, but what it's trying to say is that whereas Steve, yourself, theist, believe in a God that can be known and worshipped, I don't worship that kind of God, but I believe that there is a God. So I know that it's going to confuse people, because they'll come looking at atheist, atheist is going to knock some bells out of this theist kind of chap, isn't he? And then what? He's agreeing with him, and he says, what kind of an atheist is that? Atheists can believe in God, and that's what I am. But I don't know any other term to use. There isn't one. So what could I use? So I just put atheist and leave it in there. And I just wanted to explain that for people listening. So thank you for allowing me to do that, Steve.
No, it's a pleasure, mate. It's good to put out the understanding of where the meaning of these words, where they come from, because they've certainly been lost over time. And I think it was Celsus who accused the early Christians, of being atheists because they believed that God was a man, Jesus. Which goes back to some other points that we've had on our comments, that Jesus never claimed to be God and Jesus isn't God. Well, actually, yeah, you need to do the research around that. There's significant claims that support the fact that Jesus was or saw himself as God in human form. Whether he was or not, that's a different question.
That'll be something definitely for the future, especially in the first century. Christians against early Hellenists. Were you a follower of the way? Were you a Christian? And whatever.